In this video, I'm going to show you how to utilize reporting on Meta to understand some of the short-term metrics associated with your campaign. We're going to head to Ads Reporting on the left sidebar. Just choose Ads Reporting, create report, select the account that you want to report for. If you have multiple accounts, you can create a cross-account reporting. The layout, we have two options to visualize in graphics and charts. They're quite limited. I'm going ahead with pivot table, which gives us more options. When you create a new report, by default, it will have a few columns, both on dimensions and on metrics. I'm going to go ahead and remove them so we can start from zero. I'll leave the campaign name. Delivery is just showing if the campaigns are active. I'll remove this one. I'll remove all of them so we can build out the report from zero. And we're going to leave campaign as the dimension for now, and choose a few metrics, and later we'll go back and choose other dimensions. We're going to start with some metrics associated with volume, so volume of impression, clicks, spend, and so on, and then we'll move to relative metrics related to efficiency. So we start with the fun of the campaign. First, we show impressions. So I'm going to select that impressions column, then I'm going to go with link clicks. Those are the clicks that happen on the CTA in my ad. This is a campaign focused on purchases. That's my conversion event. So I'm going to go ahead and select purchases. And I'll choose also the amount spent. So these are some of the absolute metrics in my campaign. I can see across these three campaigns how many impressions it's generating. I can see the link clicks that I've received, the number of purchases, and how much I spent in each of these campaigns. One important aspect is choosing the time range, so I'm reporting for this month. Now we're going to start adding some of the efficiency metrics and cost metrics. For instance, I'm charged by impressions here, so I'm going to choose CPM as one of mine. I can see that I have a CPM of about $8 for the first two campaigns and $24 for the third one. And I can start comparing how the different campaigns are performing, although it's always important to put them in perspective. For instance, the last campaign is the newest of all, and it's a retargeting campaign, so likely a retargeting campaign would have a higher CPM, and because it's also newer, the campaign is still learning and going through optimization. I'm also going to choose CPC, which is how much I'm spending in each click. And I can see similarly that the first campaign, which is the oldest and it is a catalog campaign, has the lowest CPC. I'm going to choose CTR, the click-through rate, and I'm going to choose specifically the link click-through rate. And this shows me how receptive users are, potential shoppers are to my campaign, how much they are engaging with it. And I'm gonna choose OS, which is the return on ad spend, how many dollars in revenue I'm making for every dollar I'm spending in advertising. And I can see that the first campaign has the lowest ROAS, followed by the second one, which is my hero ads campaign, and then last is my retargeting campaign, which is expected to have a higher ROAS, but because it's newer, it's still being optimized. So these key metrics give you a sense of how your campaign is performing, where you're getting the return, if it is aligned with your objectives, and how receptive users are. You also have an option of creating custom metrics. For instance, if we head here to metrics, we can see that I created one called purchase rate. And what this does is it shows me the share of clicks that are receiving purchases. And I can choose as a percentage and go ahead. I'll select this and I can see that for my catalog campaign, 1.5% of clicks generate a purchase, for my hero campaign 5.44, and for my retarget campaign 4.76. So that also gives you a sense of how receptive, engaged your shoppers are to these campaigns. Now heading back to breakdown, I'm selecting only campaign for now, but I can add other dimensions. For instance, I may be interested in demographic information. For instance, how are different age ranges interacting with my ad? I'm going to select age. I'm going to select lowest to highest, and I can see that my purchases are coming primarily from the 25 to 54 range. So that gives me a sense that I may want to consider restricting my ads to this audience. I can see that I'm spending a little bit on 18 to 24, but not generating sales. And above 55, there's very low spend, and no purchases either. I also have an option of understanding across the platform and placements how I'm performing. For this campaign, I'm only running on Instagram, and I can see how the different placements on Instagram are performing: feeds, stories, reels, and so on. And that also gives me a sense if I see that a certain placement is not performing well, I may need to optimize my creative for that placement or remove it altogether if it does not make sense for me to advertise there. The other option that is quite interesting to monitor your campaign if you're running catalog campaigns is choosing the product. If I select product ID here, this catalog campaign is connected to my Shopify catalog, so I can see across the products that I'm advertising how each of them are performing, and I'll be able to see primarily the metrics related to the ad. I will not be able to see by default which ones are generating clicks. I have to do some extra work to link to my e-commerce metrics, which we'll do in the future segment. But I can see here how these different products are performing, which ones have the highest link clicks, impressions, how much I'm spending. So for instance, I can check here which product is the one that I'm spending most advertising budget, the CPM. I can order by CTR, that will tell me how receptive my shoppers are. And I can see the one with the highest CTR, and although I have to be careful because the highest CTR need to be evaluated. Any relative metric should be evaluated also along with absolute metrics. For instance, although this one has a 33% CTR, I can see that there's been only one click. So you have to evaluate in context of the number of clicks you're generating. So this is an overview on how you can do reporting on Meta and evaluate your advertising metrics. These metrics will be available within a few hours after you launch the campaign. You should definitely keep an eye, understand if things are performing well, and from there you can make the changes that are needed to make sure your campaign is performing as you need.